Law enforcement fights crime in our neighborhoods. The eyes and ears of the community can prove vital in these efforts. Stay vigilant, your tip could crack the next case. This is a KLFY Plus exclusive, Acadiana Crimestoppers.
Welcome to this week's edition of Acadiana Crimestoppers, a show which partners law enforcement and community to help solve and prevent crime on our streets. In this episode, we will cover the crime of the week, parish by parish. We will also talk Lafayette Parish's Most Wanted with Lafayette City Marshal Reggie Thomas, and we'll have a discussion with Major Mark LeBlanc to find out how the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office is tackling crime in that area. In Acadia Parish, deputies are asking for your help identifying the suspect or suspects who called in a bomb threat to a Rain nursing home, terrorizing its residents and staff.
The Rain Police Department is investigating a bomb threat that occurred at the Ellington of Rain nursing home located at 308 Amelia Street. This threat occurred on July 16, 2025 at approximately 8 p.m. An unknown male suspect phoned the facility saying there was a bomb in the building before disconnecting the call. Numerous agencies responded and no explosive devices were located. This threat stopped the care for residents as they were removed from the facility for their safety. Help bring this person to justice. If you have information regarding this incident, you're urged to call the tip sign at 789-TIPS or download our P3 app on your mobile device to report your tip. All callers will remain anonymous and can receive up to a $1,000 cash reward for information leading to an arrest in this case. Be the difference. For Crimestoppers of Acadia Parish, I'm Sheriff KP Gibson.
If you have any information on this crime, call Crimestoppers at 789-TIPS. You could earn up to a $1,000 cash reward.
The next crime comes from St. Landry Parish as deputies there are asking for your help in solving a heinous act involving grave desecration. Major Mark LeBlanc says this crime does both financial and emotional damage to the families involved.
You're watching St. Landry Crimestoppers.
The St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office asked for your help in solving a despicable criminal act of damage at a local cemetery. On November 4, 2024, deputies with the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office responded to a report of property damage at the Garden of Memory Cemetery, 218 Ford Road, Opelousas. Workers discovered that 10 headstones and other decorative fixtures had been damaged. A place of permanent rest and repose had been horribly desecrated. The damages are financially significant and can place a serious burden on the families involved. Anyone with information on this or any other crime is urged to call 948-TIPS or tip us online at stlandrycrimestoppers.com. Dial **TIPS on your mobile device or download our P3 app and tap the app to say it here and submit your anonymous tips. On behalf of the St. Landry Crimestoppers Board, Sheriff Bobby J. Guitros and the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office, thank you and have a blessed day.
If you have any information on this crime, call Crimestoppers at 948-TIPS. You could earn up to a $1,000 cash reward.
Lafayette Crimestoppers and the Lafayette Police Department need your help to identify the person who allegedly stole more than $500 worth of supplies from Lowe's on East Gloria Switch Road. According to authorities, the suspect entered the seasonal department and selected one portable AC and a DeWalt oscillating multi-tool. If you know the identity of the suspect, please call Lafayette Crimestoppers at 232-TIPS or download the P3 TIPS app. All callers remain anonymous and can earn a cash reward. Lafayette police are also looking for suspects accused of shoplifting at Albertsons. It happened July 14th at the Albertsons on 4400 Ambassador Caffrey Parkway. According to Lafayette police, the suspects entered the store and selected approximately $74 of unpaid frozen catfish and chicken. Authorities say the suspects went through the self-checkout and bagged the items without paying. When stopped at the door, the suspects grabbed the bags from the shopping cart and fled on foot. The third suspect entered the store with the empty shopping bags from the previous suspects. She then selected just over $60 worth of frozen fish and catfish, which she then bagged in the aisle. The woman then passes all points of sale, failing to render payment. If you know the identity of the suspects, call Lafayette Crimestoppers at 232-TIPS. Authorities in Lafayette are looking for some fugitives wanted for OWI, domestic violence, among other offenses. That's why we've invited Lafayette City Marshal Reggie Thomas. He joins us every week. Thank you once again for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And again, like we always do, we have 4 individuals that your office is currently seeking. Tell me why it's so important to bring these folks to justice.
You know, it's so important because we have people on our roadways that not only get caught one time drunk driving, but then a second OWI. And what that means is that they're not showing up for court. That means that they're continuing to drive while they're intoxicated. We can't tolerate this. So one of the things that I do, I come on the show and I talk about it. And I talk about people with the second offenses. And the second offenses means that not one time, but a second time that you've been apprehended. So when you really think about it, you think about the times that they've been driving while they was intoxicated and they did not get caught.
Exactly.
So they're still on the roadway. So Acadiana, the community has been helping us. We have been getting calls. Every time I do a segment, we get a call in reference to it. So we want to continue to do that, and we want to continue to put the people behind bars, stop the people from driving that should not be on our roadways.
Yeah, we all use the roadways, and it makes our roadways safer.
That's it.
With that being said, let's go into our first person. This is Pamela Faye Harris, OWI, second offense, like you just alluded to. The first OWI was in Terrebonne Parish. The second OWI was in Lafayette.
And that's something I want people to look at. Just because you get an OWI, say you get an OWI in another city. Well, when you get it in our city, that's a second OWI. And that's a difference in what would happen. You know, some people think that if I get an OWI in New Orleans, then I'm in Lafayette, it's going to start over again. You can see it does not start over. So
yeah,
this
the pattern of behavior is the same.
Yes, so not only was it happened in Lafayette, it happened in Terrebonne.
Yeah.
So you think about from Terrebonne to Lafayette, you have somebody driving up and down the interstates. That is dangerous. So we want to get her off the roadway. She had a court date, she did not show up, and she has a warrant for her arrest. So if anybody know who she is, contact the Lafayette Marshal's office.
Yes, sir. So here's the second person, Brian David Rutledge, OWI, second offense. First OWI in Rankin County, Mississippi. So again, we're crossing state lines here. And the second OWI was in Lafayette. But like you just said, it doesn't matter. It happened in Mississippi. He's bringing that behavior to our streets.
And that's one of the things I wanted to show. I wanted to show that, you know, not only if you do it somewhere else, then when the records come, it's a second OWI. So you have to take care. These are people that are not showing up for court. These are people that continue to drive. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we get them off the roadway. We are asking that if you know any other people that you see today, contact the marshal's office, contact us, and we will pick them up. You know, and I always tell the people, I always give you a warning that you have an opportunity to contact us. You have an opportunity to pick up the phone and say, hey, look, I'm gonna turn myself in, and we'll deal with it at that particular time. But don't be running from the marshals, because we will catch up with you.
And it always looks good when you turn yourself in.
It does.
All right, third person, Joseph Harris Celestine, OWI, second offense. First OWI in Lafayette Parish. The second one was in Lafayette. So both of those were in Lafayette Parish, right?
Yes, and he's somebody that we had on before. I had on another show, and we was looking for him, and we have not located him yet. He is a local individual, so I know a lot of people know who he is. So just contact us, and I'm pretty confident that we will get some phone calls in reference to him.
All right, and the fourth and last person, Heath Michael Wiggins, domestic abuse battery 1, or first offense rather, and extensive arrest record for drunk driving. So not only is he endangering all the drivers on the road, but he also has a domestic abuse battery on his sheet.
And you know, I like to talk about domestic violence because I like to tell people where my stance at. And my stance is zero tolerance. We won't tolerate it. So I put that on the top of the list. You know, for the marshal's office, we go out and we look for people for warrants. And I tell my guys that on the top of the list is going to be domestic violence. So when you have a domestic violence abuse, we will catch up with you. And we're very serious about it. So this is the first offense. Contact the marshal's office. You didn't show up for court. We have a warrant for your arrest. We will catch up with you.
And for those that may be wanting to call and they're thinking, I don't want my name in it, I don't want any type of retribution, your calls remain anonymous. Can you just make sure and tell everybody that?
Yes, that's very, very important, that you can contact the Marshal's office at area code 337-291-8725. And the call will be anonymous. We won't even ask you your name. You know, we want to get these people off the road. We want domestic violence people to come to court, and you know, we demand that you come to court, and when you come to court, you get your sentence at that time. So one of the most important things is that we can't catch up with everybody without your help. So we're asking for a call. Just give us a call, let us know, and again, he probably watching this right now, and if he is watching it, I would suggest that you call us. You know, it makes things a lot more easy. We don't have to go knock on doors to locate you. Contact us, somebody contact us, let us know where he's at, and we'll go pick him up.
Lafayette City Marshal Reggie Thomas, thank you so much for being with us like you are every week.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
This is a KLFY Plus exclusive, Acadiana Crimestoppers.
In Vermilion Parish, law enforcement are asking for your help solving a 10-year-old homicide. A shooting near Delcombe back in 2015 led to 2 people being shot, 1 fatally. The killers are still out there.
Crime Stoppers of Vermilion presents the Crime of the Week.
Crime Stoppers in the Vermilion Parish Sheriff's Office would like your assistance in solving this segment's Crime of the Week. Detectives at the Vermilion Parish Sheriff's Office are asking for the public's assistance in solving a 10-year-old homicide. In the early morning hours of July 24, 2015, deputies responded to a shooting off of Coteau Road about 3 miles north of Delcombe. Upon arrival, deputies discovered there were 2 victims. One victim was shot in the chest, who survived his injuries, and the second victim, Chad LeBlanc, was shot in the head, where he succumbed to his injuries at the scene. Witnesses at the residence confirmed that a small white SUV drove into the yard where a white male and a black male wearing dark clothes armed with black handguns exited the vehicle and approached the residence. One witness stated he was told by the white male subject to go inside the camper that was located at the address and get the first victim. Once the witness entered the camper, approximately 7 gunshots were heard. The witness stated that once the gunshots stopped, it was learned that the first victim and Chad LeBlanc were shot. The first victim stated he felt this could possibly be a hit that was ordered. Since the shooting, Vermilion Parish Sheriff's detectives have received several dead-end leads and are asking for the public's help in solving this homicide. If you have information on this or any other crime, I encourage you to call the Crime Stoppers tips line at 740-TIPS. Or you can download and log on to the P3 app to report your tips anonymously, where you can earn a cash reward. From Vermilion Parish, I'm Sheriff Eddie Longman.
We now move on to St. Martin Parish, where authorities are looking for help finding the suspects wanted in connection with a burglary and vandalism. It happened on June 13th at Magnolia Park in St. Martinville. Police say St. Martinville Senior High School jerseys valued at $7,000 were taken during the burglary, and graffiti was spray painted throughout the building. Anyone knowing the identity and or whereabouts of the individual or individuals responsible for this crime, you are asked to contact St. Martin Crime Stoppers at 441-3030 or via the P3 Tips app.
This is a KLFY Plus exclusive, Acadiana Crimestoppers.
Welcome back to Acadiana Crimestoppers. We are here today having a discussion with Major Mark LeBlanc with the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you for having me, Trevor.
So what's new in St. Landry Parish law enforcement? What are some new things your office is doing to combat crime?
Well, it's a constant endeavor, and I'm very proud to be affiliated with this agency. This is my 3rd career. So I retired from Opelousas Police Department in 2010. I went to work elsewhere, and I've been with the Sheriff's Department now just over 4 years. And I can't be more proud to work with such a fine group of men and women under the direction of Sheriff Guitros. Our training division especially has really gone the extra mile to see that every single officer has the best training up to current standards, approved practices. We're concentrating mostly right now over the past year on firearm skills. Firearm skills are perishable skills, And it's the one thing that you hope you never need it, but when you need it, you got to have it, and it's not a time for any errors. So they've really gone the extra mile. They recently completed shoot house construction where we can use what's called less lethal impact munitions and do force-on-force training with the officers. It's all scenario-based, and it includes not only that type of training, but it's also incorporated into our canine training. And we even go as far as to do scenario-based training with our search and rescue units, our hostage negotiating units, as well as SWAT teams.
And those scenario-based incidents are important because it gives them real-world knowledge of what it would be like in that kind of situation.
You're absolutely right. It's one thing, you know, I have a college background, and it's great to learn from the theoretical side of things. And of course, that's how we learn best practices. To incorporate them into the real world is where the rubber meets the road. And our men and women in our training division, I can't thank them enough. I've been a law enforcement instructor for over 35 years, and I tell you, I couldn't be in better hands with that group.
So what would you say, I know some of that you'd probably categorize as priorities, but just in terms of crime prevention, are there any crimes right now that your office is really trying, I know you're trying to stop all crime, but is there any subset of crime where it's like, okay, we need to nip this in the bud?
Well, there are, and a lot of other agencies are dealing with this as well. There has been a rash of four-wheeler, ATV, side-by-side thefts. We're trying to get a handle on that as best we can. They're back to trend crimes, I call it. So somebody will find out on social media, well, this is how you hotwire a Honda four-wheeler, and you can take it. And then the next thing you know, Honda four-wheelers start missing like crazy. Trying to stay on top of that. The recent thing is, oh, if you steal a 3/4 ton or heavy truck, oh, and here's how you do it. You can go rip ATMs out of stores and other locations and get the cash. So now we're having to combat that. Combining auto theft with the burglaries, the ATM destruction, all of the damage associated with that. Are partnering with our area agencies, because like I said, everybody's pretty much fighting the same thing at the same time. As well as some of the technological things that we try and avail ourselves of. Our Criminal Investigative Division is trying to stay in touch with the latest technological-based crime-fighting techniques relative to mining phones, mining social media sites. That's something that's constantly developing. It takes, you got to have somebody that really wants to learn how to do it. It's very complex, very intricate. You can no longer wait to have somebody else do that for you and wait possibly months to retrieve the data and be able to use it. Those trend crimes are what we're trying to fight right now, mostly.
Yeah. So as crimes evolve, your office has to evolve. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Over the 4+ decades I've been involved, I've seen radical change, technological innovation. If you'd asked me in the late 70s, what could I perceive as the future of law enforcement, I would have never been able to imagine many of the wonderful things that have come to pass, many of the great things that we're able to avail ourselves of.
So can you talk a little bit about the bond with the community and why that's so important? And I would guess through Crime Stoppers, that bond with the media is also important.
It is. Crime Stoppers entities can't exist and can't function without the partnership of our media. And now being able to have media reach us so readily, like I said, on our phones, on our computers at work, we have that bond. Being able to get the message out to the public helps to connect in that regard. However, it's boots on the ground, actual day-to-day contact. Sheriff Guitro's philosophy is that with every phone call, with every contact, with every person, whether they're a citizen in our parish, traveling through, it matters not, especially with our other agencies, that contact, that is the most critical thing. That is how our community involvement starts, and we try and carry it through to a successful completion.
Major Mark LeBlanc, thank you so much for your time today here on Acadiana Crimestoppers.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back.
This is a KLFY Plus exclusive, Acadiana Crimestoppers.
Welcome back. Our partnership with law enforcement continues next week. Join us as we show you more wanted fugitives throughout Acadiana. Lafayette City Marshal Reggie Thomas will be with us once again. We'll see what other suspects he is looking for. We'll also have an extended conversation with him about his deputies patrolling the city parks and how they are making them safer for the public. We appreciate you tuning into Acadiana Crimestoppers exclusively on KLFY+. We will be back next week detailing the latest crimes to be solved and perps to be brought to justice.